Hey, welcome to the Generations at Work podcast, where our goal is to help you build bridges instead of walls in the workplace between generations. I have someone with me that is going to create a great conversation. I can hardly wait to start. I have Dov Baron with us, so stay tuned. All right, so today we're going to have a great conversation about the art of belonging. And Dov Baron, thank you for joining us today. I'm going to set you up and introduce you officially in a minute, but thanks for being with us today for this conversation.
My absolute pleasure. I love our conversations, Tim. What your audience probably don't know is that you and I have had many conversations.
Yeah,
They're always enlightening. They're always inspiring. And I love the way you're building these bridges between generations,
yeah.
especially for us old farts like you and I, who are
Yeah,
like, a lot of people think, oh, we're in that category, so we don't want to do that.
yeah, yeah.
And you and I are very strong about let's bring people together.
Yeah, we have to. But I will
Hmm.
say this, the older I get, the easier it is to build a wall instead of a bridge.
Yeah.
Kids today. So thank you for this new book. It's exactly what Gen Z is asking for, but what everybody needs. So let me officially introduce you. You just sit back and relax for a minute, Dov. The search for meaning has been an obsession for Dov Baron for his since his earliest days. So, what you may not know, listeners, is he was born in northern England in abject poverty, surrounded by crime and violence and addiction. It was not a healthy environment. So he knew there had to be more to life than just getting by and surviving. So Dov left his destructive environment to travel about and study some of the world's greatest minds everywhere. And he then parlayed his learning into founding and building companies on 3 different continents. Who says that, by the way? Nobody I know. So today, Dov Baron is a best-selling author, the founder and CEO of Dov Baron International. He's a preeminent expert in helping leaders create life and work meaning. So more than money, there's meaning. And I so agree with that. You know, everything about us here, listeners, is the same. His models and strategies of the emotional source code and the anatomy of meaning are used by leaders in businesses and governments alike. He has a top 1% podcast. I was privileged to be on that a couple of times. That really is targeted towards C-suite executives, but anybody can benefit. And I've enjoyed, as I mentioned, being on his shows. So today we're going to talk about the art of belonging, how conformity silences genius, and then how to build this belonging. So, Dov, first, I want you to just talk about this new book. What drove you to write The Art of Belonging?
Thank you for asking. What is very obvious is I was doing all this research, preliminarily playing with this, what I felt was missing, with this whole idea you and I have talked about. There's this nonsense that goes around, oh, we've got to up engagement. We've
Yeah,
been talking about that for 20
yeah,
years,
yeah,
spending billions and billions of dollars, and engagement has not gone up, it's gone down.
yeah, yeah,
And then you have a pandemic
yeah.
and it got
It
worse.
didn't help
It
us.
got
Yeah,
way worse. Especially, people are like, oh, we got to get back to normal, and then we'll connect again. Well, we didn't.
yeah,
So what
yeah.
became really clear to me that was this problem, and I wrote a report called the loneliness tax. That
Mm.
loneliness is costing the global economy trillions of dollars. I think it's 6.7 trillion a year. A year,
Wow,
trillion with a T. That's
wow.
crazy,
Yes,
right?
it
So it's
is.
like, all right, this is going on, and there's clearly a problem. Who can solve it? And I
Mm.
think that we look at governments, and most of us are disappointed with
Yeah,
governments,
yeah,
not just in America, not just in Canada, everywhere around the world. People are disappointed with governments. They don't really do what they say they're going to do. And then, well, oh, does it fall on NGOs? Well,
yeah,
they
yeah,
often don't have enough money,
yeah, yeah,
right? And then I go, okay, who is impacted by it? We are the
yeah,
business owners,
yeah,
and therefore we can take it on, and it will actually add value to our people, but grow our businesses at the same time.
yeah.
We are the solution to this problem.
Hmm.
People need a place to belong. This is one of the basic
Yeah,
human needs. Now, the clarity is the distinction, the paradox between fitting in and belonging. And
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
drove me to write the book.
Yes, I love it. And I remember there's a difference. We'll talk about more of that in a minute. When you talk about this great need for belonging, I was thinking to myself, when you look at the social science over the last 6, 7, 8 decades, fewer and fewer people feel like they belong. Fewer people belong to civic clubs, bowling leagues, churches, ministries, faith-based. And I'm telling you, we are needing a place. Why not the 8 hours you spend every day to have a community of people that get work done, but also feel like they belong to each other? It just makes sense. So I'm just echoing back. This is such a need. Yeah.
It's a very strong need, because, as you said, pre-pandemic we had the bowling club, we had
Yeah.
the bridge club, we had
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
whatever club,
Yeah.
and I have a very good friend, who is from the South, who belongs to the oldest, um, Black Christian church in America,
Huh.
right?
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not a Christian,
Yeah.
but I would go to that church.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
already feel
Yes.
the vibe, right? So I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel the healing coming
Yeah.
on.
That's
It's
right.
just like, it's
That's
going to
right.
be fantastic. I want to go there.
Yeah.
She's been going there her entire life since she was a little girl. And her friend called her and said, why haven't I seen you at church? Now, this is 2 years after the
Wow.
pandemic is over.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm always there. And she goes, I never see you. She goes, oh, no, I go online.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she said, her friend said, that's not church.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she went. And she said to me, it was transformational.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
talking to little kids. I'm talking to the person
Yes.
next to me. That doesn't happen with online.
Yeah.
And I think we've forgotten how important it is for us to connect. So
Yeah.
a lot of the time people say, I'm not lonely. And I say, okay, but are you isolated?
Yeah.
And they go, what's the difference? And I go, listen, I work from home too.
Yeah.
How often do I go out in the street, meet people, talk to people in a coffee shop, whatever it is? Do I talk to them in the supermarket? Do I just rush in, rush out?
Yeah.
Do I have a club that I go to and connect? No.
Yeah.
Now, if you're at work, now a lot of you are working remotely, and a lot of companies
Yeah.
are pushing for you to go back. Now, there's a challenge here. People don't want to go back. I understand that.
Yeah.
You've got to make them want to come back.
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
They've
And I
got to
think
have a
that's key.
desire to be
Yeah.
there, because here's the thing, what most people don't realize is that the average person who works from home is 30% more productive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if I own the company, I'm like, why would I want them to come back?
Yeah.
The answer is because they're working in isolation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And working in isolation destroys creativity and innovation. Now, if I build a company where you've got to fit in, then you've got to contort yourself.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to come to work. I'm just going to do exactly what I do at home, which is I'm going to do my work, keep my head down, and get out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if I can create a place of belonging where you don't have to contort, I want to be there.
Yeah.
Innovation takes place at that water cooler.
Yeah. Yes, it
Innovation
does.
takes place as we pass in the hall.
Yeah. Well, and I would just add, it's very difficult to build a strong culture remotely. I don't
brutally
know
hard.
any company that's been able to do it, but when you're together, yeah, there's some friction, of course, but so many things happen that are good when we're together. And I tell you
Tim,
what,
you just said something that's so important there. You said friction happens.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah, yeah, it
This
actually
the other
is.
thing. We've got into this nonsense
Yeah,
about how conflict is bad. Yes, you're right. Unhealthy conflict is
Yeah.
bad. Healthy conflict is good.
that's
If
right.
I pay you a compliment and you're not comfortable with that compliment, that's called conflict. That's
Yes.
good conflict because it makes you go, why am I questioning that?
Mhm. Yeah,
Right? We need that. That's the friction that makes human beings come together in a way that's like evolving rather than passive.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
we're now in this world of politics where people are polarized, and so
Yeah.
they think the options, the only
Yeah.
other thing like that is to be flatlined. Well, that's called dead.
yeah, yeah,
I don't want that either. I don't want to
Yeah.
be at each other's throats. That's
Yeah.
nonsense
yeah,
because you're not my enemy. But I don't
Right.
want a flatline relationship.
yeah.
Listen, Tim, how long have you been married?
I've been married 44 years.
Right. I bet you've had a couple of scraps.
Yes, a few.
Right.
Yes.
And yeah, me too. Right. I've had a
Yeah.
lot of fights with my missus,
Yeah.
and every one of them has made me her or us better people.
Yeah, no
Because you
doubt.
now go, oh, you know what? I didn't realize how much I valued that, or I never really paid attention to how important that was to you.
Yeah.
Now I want to evolve. I love you. I want
Yes.
you to be happy. I want you to be healthy. I want to be a better man for that.
Yeah.
That's healthy friction.
Yeah.
We're avoiding that.
Yeah, we are.
And
We
when we're
don't.
in isolation, it's very easy to avoid it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We choose the easy, but we really need the hard. It makes us better. I was thinking as you were talking, Dov, that as you look at the different generations coming to work, surprisingly, Gen Z came in as most desirous of getting back to the office and being with others. I think because they know they need to develop social capital. They know they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
And I do think that they'll admit to loneliness even more so than older generations. I think they do feel a little isolated and they want something different, but they're not always good at it. So leaders need to build this sense of community and belonging so that even if there is friction, and maybe because there's friction, we're just better people because we came together. I absolutely
Well, in the
believe that.
book, I outline one of the strategies is that. So, for instance, this is something I'm brought into organizations to talk about and deal with, and I say I'm going to put something forward, and I say this to everybody, so it's not like
Yeah.
I'm not giving away any secrets. I say I'm going to put something forward. You want people to come back to work, right? And they go, yeah. And I go, your people are very productive while they're not at work, while they're working remotely. And they go, yeah, but we're not sure. Blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a radical idea together for you. And they go, what's that? I want you to give 2 days a month where people don't, they must come to work.
Yeah.
They must be in the office minimum 2 days. They can do more, but minimum 2 days. But they do not work on those days. There's no production required,
Wow.
but you must be in the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
While you're in the office, you can wander around, you can
Yep.
talk to other people, you can
Yeah.
have coffee, and we will set up things that facilitate friction. Now, again, not negative friction,
Yeah. Yeah.
friction. So
Yeah.
we might play chess with each other,
Okay.
right? We'll learn to do things where there's some adversarial growth, right?
Yeah.
And you can also do skunk work exercises in there, right? So I need you to design an idea or come up with a way to fix this problem, and we're just going to do it as play. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to get.
Yeah.
We're not looking for a result. We're looking for you to. And so now people are saying, I want to go in.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
getting paid for it. I
Yeah.
want to go in because I get to see Sally and I get to see Bob and I get to hang out.
Yeah.
And I always come away with this little bit of fire in my belly.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. We as companies need to facilitate that because that's how you feed innovation.
Yeah.
If you
I
flatline
agree.
everybody or keep them in isolation,
Yeah.
they can't be creative.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Look at the world. We're all very interested in technology. But if you look at advancement does not take place in good times.
Interesting. Yeah.
All advancement, look at
Yeah.
history, all the great growth, right?
Yeah.
So we have the Renaissance. Let's go back to history. Renaissance. What was before the Renaissance?
The Dark Ages.
The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
The Black Plague.
Yeah.
It was devastating. And then suddenly you've got Leonardo da Vinci,
Yeah.
Michelangelo. You've
Yep.
got, incredible Galileo Galilei. You've got
Yeah.
all these incredible sciences and arts
Yeah.
that come forward out of that. Innovation is born in friction.
Yeah.
It's not born in harmony.
Yeah.
But we're all like, oh, we don't want to keep a harmonious
Yeah.
culture. Belonging means I'm safe so I work with you, Tim. It's
Yeah.
safe for us to have this conflict,
Yeah.
healthy conflict, this friction, because it makes both of us better.
Yeah.
Right? We can put our arm around each other and then go, thanks for the scrap. That was great. I'm
Yeah.
thinking differently about this. We've got to facilitate that. There's a great bonding in bringing people together and allowing them to be themselves. If I come in with my biases and I go, well, I don't really like guys who wear glasses. It seems a bit gay, and I've got some issue
Yeah.
about gay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I go, and then I sat down with Tim and we got into this thing, and suddenly I forgot he wore glasses, and I
Yeah.
forgot that glasses seemed gay to me. And
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
really think is that, wow, he's a great guy. And I really thought about this, and he made me think about this.
Yep.
It unpeels those
Yeah.
layers
Yeah.
for us to come together.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to dismantle yourself. You don't have to distort yourself. You don't have to conform. You have to be you.
Yeah.
That's so powerful.
I love that. I'm thinking of Brene Brown's words. It's hard to hate people up close. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. You
Yeah.
know, I need to say, Dov, I love that idea you just mentioned, that pick 2 days a month. They come to work, but they don't work. They're typical tasks.
Yep.
They're there to community and like you said, competition, perhaps friction. But I bet work is helped when they're not working because they
Oh,
are innovating. They are coming up with crazy, wild ideas that might be the answer to tomorrow's problem. I
every
love that.
company I've done that with
Yeah,
as well is nuts,
yeah,
right? But they trust me, so they go, okay,
yeah,
we're going to
yeah,
try it,
yeah,
and if we're going to try it for 3 months, and every one of them was like unbelievable.
yeah,
Like the
yeah,
first month was kind of fumbly. We didn't know what
yeah,
the hell we were
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
The second month was much better. The third month is like, what the
Breakthrough.
hell happened?
Yeah, yeah,
People are wanting to come in,
yeah. I
and
love
they're
this.
inspiring each other. And there's one company that there's a particular department, they're writing a book together.
Hmm.
That was one of the
Interesting.
things that came out of it. It was like,
Yeah,
you want to
yeah,
write a book, and it was around a small skunk work project that was about the company, and
yeah.
now they're writing a book around it.
Wow.
And what's interesting about it is I asked them to write the book, making sure that whoever is partnered with must be partnered with somebody who is somehow opposed to them. So,
Ooh,
i.e., it's a boomer
yeah,
and an Xer,
yeah,
or
yeah,
it's a boomer and a Gen Z, right?
yeah, yeah,
Or it's a person of this culture versus that culture, or it's a very sort of macho male with
yeah,
a more flamboyant individual. I like,
yeah,
let's bring that together because that's where the beautiful, delicious recipe is of human beings.
yeah. You're right. Well, I'll tell you how we applied that at our office. Years ago, we started a policy where we bought a bunch of food and said free meals every day, free snacks every day. But when you eat something that was given to you for free, you cannot leave. You have to, and don't go to your office and close the door and be alone. You have to be with each other. You don't have to talk about work. In fact, please don't.
Right.
Just be humans. But so much good happens in that
Right.
community that was paid for by the company, but now enjoyed by the individuals. It's just counterintuitive, but it's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a way to get like how to we've got it. Part of this culture of belonging idea
yeah,
is
yeah,
we've got to understand that a lot of the barriers, i.e., Gen Z versus
yeah,
millennials versus boomers, whatever it might be, we have to understand that a lot of those barriers are being given to us as a cultural
norm.
overlay.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
not true,
yeah.
right? And so, it's very interesting for me because I have a lot of conversations with people. I'm in my late 60s. I have conversations with people who are in their 20s. They go, you really don't think like a boomer. And I go,
Yeah.
I think like a lot of the boomers who I know. And they go, really? And I go, yeah, it's not true. I said, but by the way, you don't think like a Gen Z. And they go, don't I? And I go, I'm sure you do in many ways,
Yeah.
but it's not true.
Yeah.
It's only true in a context.
Yeah.
And this is the part that I think we've all missed. You and I have had this conversation before. Like one of the greatest missing things in our lives today, because of social media, because of the algorithms, is we've lost the art of nuance and context.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're a Gen Zer when it comes to
Yeah.
6, 7, right,
Yeah.
or
Right.
whatever
Right.
that stuff is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it comes to this, you actually think like a boomer.
Yeah.
Or when it
Yeah.
comes to that, you think more like a millennial. Like I've only recently found out about uh, generation Jones generation. Have you heard of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I had never heard of it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. And it's between 1954 and 1964.
Yeah.
And we're the people who fell between the X's and the boomers,
Yes,
which is
that's right.
me,
Yeah.
right?
It
Because
was a
I'm
subset. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
And it's
Yeah.
like, and then he started talking about what those are. I'm like, yep, that's me.
Yeah. So true. I'm the same.
Right.
So let's shift gears just slightly, but
Please.
talk to us about the paradox of belonging for a minute.
Yeah, this is really important. So the paradox of belonging is this: human beings have a basic need to belong.
Hmm.
If you look at the
Yeah.
hierarchy of needs,
Yeah.
it's right on there.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that as you travel up that hierarchy of needs, you can't get to the next level without completing the level before. So you're
Yeah.
on this path towards enlightenment at the top of the thing, but you've also got to feel like you belong in order to get there.
Yeah.
And we know that people don't feel like that. Now,
Yeah.
the problem with that is that belonging, the paradox is that we've translated belonging into fitting in,
Yes, yes, right.
right? And as companies, we did it too. We
Yeah,
said, if you come and work here, you got to wear the gray khakis and you got to
yeah,
wear the blue shirt or whatever it
yeah,
was, or
yeah,
you know, you can look different, but you can't be different. You have
yeah,
to think the same as everybody else, and it was very much the Borg,
yeah,
right? Everybody's got to think the same. But we wanted to fit in. It was a desperate need to fit in.
yeah,
So we canceled ourselves in order to fit in with others.
yeah, yeah,
Then we start repressing things.
yeah,
Now, because this is a basic need, it doesn't go away.
yeah,
So what happens is if we don't have a place where we belong, now the distinction I'll make in a
yeah,
moment, if we don't feel like there's a place we belong, we'll distort ourselves into fitting in. So
yeah,
people find themselves in extremist groups, right? So when I did my
yeah,
political analysis of why did people vote for Trump,
yeah, yeah,
it wasn't because they were racists or
yeah, yeah,
bigots or whatever it was. Was there some racists and bigots? Of course there was. You'll also find those in your supermarket,
yeah, yeah.
right?
That's right.
They're everywhere. It doesn't matter. But the truth of the matter is, there were people who were looking for a place where they would
Yeah,
belong
yeah,
so that their voice could be heard.
yeah,
And they didn't feel like they'd had that before. So they went,
mhm,
well, I'll try here.
yeah,
And I explained to everybody, the people who voted for Trump, also the majority on the first time around had also voted for Obama. They wanted something different. Why did
yeah,
they want something different? Because they wanted a place where they could land.
yes, yeah. That's
That's
right.
the need in us.
Hmm.
If we don't have a place where we belong and we're held in all of our magnificence, we will distort ourselves to fitting in. And so we
Yeah,
find ourselves radicalized.
yeah,
Once we find ourselves radicalized, now we have a part of our brain that will hold on to cognitive dissonance.
yeah.
And
Right.
cognitive dissonance says, I can't admit I'm wrong. I made this choice. I'm in this shitty marriage for the last 30
Yeah,
years, and I really don't like the other person, but I'm going to stay because, I want to prove my parents
yeah,
wrong, who've been
yeah,
dead for 10 of years,
yeah, yeah,
right? Or I'm not leaving this political party. But it's not the truth of who we are.
yeah,
It's because of this need to fit in
yeah.
/ belong.
Right.
A
Yeah,
culture of belonging says, no, no, hold on a second. You can vote for Trump, and I can vote for a Democrat. But what do we have in common? You can be a Gen Zer. I can be a boomer. What do we have in common?
yeah, yeah,
And the commonality is purpose,
yeah.
because that's
Good.
pulling us up into the fifth
That's
level,
right. Yeah,
right? What is it that pulls us? What is it that makes you want to get out of bed in the
yeah,
morning? So if I look at somebody who voted for Obama and somebody who voted for Trump, and I'm just using these as examples, it's
yeah,
not a political conversation.
yeah.
What I
Right.
say is, what was the pull? The pull was like, I want a better America. I want a
Yeah,
one where, as a working class American, I'm heard and what's going on in my life matters, and that you
yeah,
care about my grocery bill.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a common purpose. So that's what we have to look at when I brought into companies and
yeah,
I do the emotional source code of that organization.
yeah,
I want to find the purpose because I want everybody in that company to say, how does my purpose align with the purpose?
yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I wear a red hat or a blue hat, or whether I'm a blue hair because I'm old or a blue hair because I dyed it blue.
Yeah, that's
It's
right.
irrelevant.
Yes. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, so here's a looming question I want to hear your input on. Um, let's talk about AI.
Yeah.
So, why does belonging matter, especially in a day of artificial intelligence? AI is everywhere now. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think that AI is a fascinating subject. I've written 2 ebooks on it. One I wrote on it was called Silicon Soul. You can find it on my website,
Okay.
and it's the movement towards um, transhumanism, and how we mustn't be afraid, but we must be cautious. And the next
Good.
book is on conscious AI and
Hmm.
how the question of, can AI become conscious?
Yeah. Wow.
And the reason that this is an important conversation in the context of belonging is because we're very aware that people have already suicided from having relationships with an artificial
Yeah.
intelligence.
Yeah. Right. It's crazy.
And we've come to this, you talked about this social capital that has often not
Yeah.
been built
Yeah.
in that generation. Um, some of it because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Um, And so it's easier to talk to a sycophantic AI that is always going to tell you how wonderful you are. What
Yes.
a
Yeah.
great idea that is.
Yeah.
Oh, well caught.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like if you were a human being saying that to me, I'd go, you are so full
Yeah.
of poop. It's
Yeah. It's so
unbelievable.
true. You're
Right?
right.
But there's no challenge in it.
Yeah.
And so we start to bond with this. Now,
Hmm.
the bonding that actually takes place, this is what I found really fascinating in the research. When we bond with another person, our brain produces something called oxytocin.
Yeah.
Oxytocin is the bonding hormone.
Okay.
Now, the
Yep.
interesting thing about oxytocin is also paradoxical.
Hmm.
So, oxytocin is the bonding hormone. It says, oh, you and I are together, but it also says they are the other.
Ah.
Oxytocin is behind the
Yeah.
Nazi movement.
Yes.
It bonds people together, but it also excludes others,
And alienates.
right?
Yeah.
Alienates, right?
Interesting.
So the
Wow.
problem with AI is it's pushing us into bonding with it,
Yeah.
which makes
Yeah.
humans, other humans, the other.
Yeah.
If we don't create cultures of belonging where humans can be together,
Yeah.
they're going to other humans.
Yeah.
And this is far more potential damage than we can
Yeah.
imagine.
No doubt.
In the
Yeah.
first book on transhumanism, I ask a very important question. I say, do you remember a time, excuse me, do you remember a time before the internet? I'm old enough to remember that.
I do too.
And I can remember people being very excited about it, including me. And this is in the days, people who are younger who are listening won't know what I mean by this, but it was the days of ba-ding, ba-ding,
Yeah.
ba-ding, as this page loaded from an
Yeah.
AOL
That's right. Yeah.
CD-ROM.
Yeah.
And then we got Web 2.0, which was moving images. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
We were very excited. This was going to be the great town square. People were going to be able to have a voice. It was going to be amazing. It was going to be fantastic. Very exciting. Now we look at it and we go, look at all the damage it's done. Like, look at
Yeah.
what's happened to our kids, and
Yeah.
look at what it's done to culture, and
Right.
look at what it's done to polarization, and look at what it's done to information. And we thought it was going to be uncensored.
Yeah.
And it's the most censored.
Yeah. Right.
You can't say drunk anymore
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
internet. You can't say drugs. You can't say grape, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
not grape, right? You
Yeah.
can't say these words
Yeah.
because they're called
Yeah.
explicit.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
We're more censored than we were in the early 60s. This is crazy. So
Yeah.
I'm saying, okay, so now here's my question to you in the context of what I'm talking about. If you were excited about the beginning of the internet, and now it is where it is, and you can see the problems we've had in the last
Yeah.
20 years and what it's done. If you're time traveling, you go back and you get to be really powerful, what guardrails do you put in place?
Yeah.
With consideration of your kids and
Yep.
how it's impacted them, and
Yeah.
their sexuality and their social, as you said, their social capital.
Yeah.
And you'd say, oh, I'd have a whole list of changes. I go, that's great. Now you need to understand AI is let's just say minimum, 1,000,000 times stronger than the internet for
Yeah.
impact.
Yeah. Right.
And are you going to wait until all the damage is done to say we should have set the guardrails?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, we know big companies are not going to set those guardrails. I've had those conversations with some of the biggest companies in the world. We have to set them for ourselves. And one of the simplest guardrails is if you want to use AI, you can't exclude human connection.
Yeah.
We
Good.
need to belong.
Yeah.
We need a community. We need to feel like this is where my people are, where I can have healthy friction.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
And there's that bonding out of that. Like I said, the fights with your wife have brought you closer together. I can clearly remember getting this far away from my best friend, like so mad.
Yeah.
But the bond became out of that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
love
Stronger
becomes
than
out of
ever.
that,
Yeah.
deeper understanding.
Yeah. I love that. So, Dov, to land the plane here, I'd love for you to share maybe a couple of ideas or steps leaders could take to build this culture of belonging. What would you advise us to do?
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. So the first thing is this. I would, excuse me, I would ask you to look at anywhere you're asking people to conform
Okay.
rather than be.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to think about that a little bit, and I'll just give you some more on that in a moment. But that's where you start. Now the thing is this. When you talk about your culture, Are you talking about a set of rules
Yeah.
or a framework?
Yeah.
Those are very different,
Yep.
right? You want healthy boundaries, very important.
Yeah.
But boundaries are not rules. Boundaries are about me.
Yeah.
My boundaries are about me.
Yeah.
Rules are about others. I want you to come in. I want you to understand that we have all this, and so you can be anything you want. You want to show up with a beard and a dress. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, do your job, do your thing, have a great time. But you have to treat other human beings respectfully.
Yeah. Right.
That's the boundary for
Yes.
me,
Yeah.
right? Not a rule. It's a boundary. Very
Yeah.
simple. Because if you don't, you're pushing yourself out. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
If you don't need to be here, that's fantastic. Go. So start looking at your culture from a place of boundaries versus rules.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two, what I would tell you to do if you want to start building a culture of belonging, because it as I said, it ignites innovation. That's this. Give your people the room to be what they're not employed to be.
Hmm.
So everybody you hired them saying, oh, we need somebody who can do X and Y. Obviously, they should be able to do X and Y if you're going to hire them.
Yeah.
That's table stakes.
Yeah.
Now, my question to you is, what do they have to repress in order to do X and Y?
Mm-hmm.
And you go, what do you mean? Well, you've hired them in accounting, but what else are they really good at that they wish they was space for?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's create a little bit of skunk works. Let's create a little bit of space to say, what else can you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Every interviewer I know says, give me a scenario where you thought outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all put that in the interviews. And then we hire the person. And then if they do something outside the box, we fire them.
That's right. Yeah. Don't do it here. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So we want to make sure you can think innovatively. But if you break our system and you break our box,
Yeah.
well, you're going to have to go.
You're out.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
A culture of belonging is understanding you bringing in all the elements of people. So say, wonder what you have. So when now we're interviewing everybody, we've got the culture already, and we're saying, okay, so I wonder what it is that you have a talent for that we don't know.
Yeah. That's
right?
good.
So
I love
maybe your
that.
talent is chess. Maybe it's got nothing to do with
Yeah.
business. Right? Maybe your talent is chess. So here's the thing. I think chess is great. It's strategically very valuable. So would you like to start a chess club? Yes. Right? Well, 1 hour a week, we're going to pay you to do chess instruction
Huh.
or to run the chess club, right? This is now creating this belonging. Now people want to join. We want to be in place together.
Yeah.
Oh, what I love is painting. Really? Watercolors? Yeah. Oh, I love watercolors. Oh, fantastic. 1 hour a month, 1 hour a week, depending on who you are. You're going to create the watercolor club.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Now, 1 hour of that will be in work, and the rest of it, if you want to make it a 2-hour class, you can do that. But we're going to pay you for an hour, and we're going to facilitate it with whatever you need.
Yeah.
Like, let's give people the room to be as
Yeah.
human as they
Yeah.
possibly can.
I love it. What I love about this too, these are great ideas that are counterintuitive.
Oh,
It
absolutely.
looks like we're deviating from the goal of production or results, but not at all. It's just offering people an environment that they desperately need to get to the goal we all want to get to. I love it, Dov.
We want to belong, but we want to feel like we are valued for who we
Yes.
are,
Yes.
not for what we do. And this is the whole in the
Yeah.
this cultural
Yeah.
zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Is we live in a society that says you are valuable because you do.
Yeah.
And what we need to understand is people want to feel valuable because of who they are.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's it. Dov, this is exactly what I was hoping would happen. Thank you for joining us today. Great conversation, excellent insights. Tell people where they can find you.
Thank you so much, Tim. You can find me at dovbaron.com. That's where you'll find access to the book. You can get on the wait list to get the book before the early release. And you'll find it there. It's called The Art of Belonging. You can find out my podcast, which is also accessible through dovbaron.com, but it's also the Dov Baron Show on all of your platforms.
Yes.
You can also find us on YouTube. There's thousands of videos on there we've got for you as well. And I also write for dovbaron.com on Curious Chronicles articles every Thursday. and I write on LinkedIn. You can reach me on LinkedIn too. I write down a newsletter for LinkedIn every Tuesday as well. And if you do go to the Dov Baron Show, look for there's a couple of pretty good episodes. They're actually excellent episodes with a guy called Time Elmore. With Tim Elmore, yeah.
That's right.
There's some really great episodes there with Tim. So
We
thank
had
you.
fun. We had fun. Dov, thank you again. Listeners, thank you for staying with us today. I hope you were able to pull out some takeaways. I think you did. This is Generations at Work, where we help you build bridges instead of walls at your workplace. Thanks again for joining us.